Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
And today we're talking about the Outpost. Previous two episodes.
We're doing episode 9, which was last week's, and then episode 10, which was this week's.
Yeah. I wasn't able to get together with her to do last week's.
Yeah, so we watched the episode a couple days ago, and now we're going to do a review. So we're just going to combine them both in the same video.
Yeah.
Because it's easier that way.
It really is.
And they connect anyway, so.
Yes.
Yeah. So episode 9 was She Is Not a God, and episode 10 is From Paradise to Hell and Back.
Yes. Both great episodes in their own right.
Yes.
Better as a combination.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can say that about most of the episodes this season.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at it as a season as a whole, it's been a great season. If you look at it individually, it's been okay. But it's what it is. It's a summer show.
It is what it is.
I
wonder if the next season's going to be in the summer.
I don't know.
I mean, since they already know that they're getting another 13 episodes, they can start filming it early, and then it could be ready for summer.
Right.
Yeah. Because I don't think they're going to push it to fall again.
I hope not. I want more, as soon as it's over. I like the show, a lot. Yeah. I love Janzo. He's, the best. He's, the best character.
He really is. He's a great character.
I don't think I've ever, fallen in love with a character so easily as Janzo.
Yeah.
I just love him so much. He's adorably, he's smart, adorable. Stupid. Yes, he's extremely adorable, and,
his mannerisms.
Yes.
The way he reacts to things.
We noticed in last week's episode, Ren started doing some of his mannerisms when she yelled at Zed. She did the...
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I died. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It made me so happy. But yeah, I'm sad we haven't seen Month's not girlfriend in a while.
The barmaid or whatever.
We haven't seen her since she was forced to be on the lap of the new one.
Yeah.
That died. But I don't really think, unless she comes into the story to help to save Mun, I don't think she's gonna show up until they save Mun.
Yeah.
He'll come home, she'll be like, Mun, you're okay! And then, their first epic kiss, their first kiss, it's gonna be epic.
He just reminds me of, the Shrek, and then, she's, the
Fiona.
Yeah. Because he's this big, guy, and he's kind of simple. He's kind of, a simple-minded guy. Yeah. And he's just kind of this big, figure. And she's this, thin, beautiful, woman. And it's just almost this odd pair. And
right.
Yeah.
I love it. Sorry, guys. Maybe that's why I love them so much together, Munch and her, because, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. That's just what I thought of.
Yeah, no, that totally fits. At least in my mind. I totally agree. It's total Shrek and Fiona.
Yeah.
But she's not going to turn into a Munt.
Yeah. I know.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking at it that way, Mom could be the evil fairy godmother. I don't know that.
Yeah. Voiced by which one does Julie Andrews voice? Her mother?
I think so.
Yesterday was Christopher Plummer's and Dick Van Dyke's and Taylor Swift's birthday.
Damn!
Yep.
And my grandma's. It was a stacked day.
So many people had birthdays yesterday. Celebrities.
Yes. And today's mine.
Yeah. Dick Van Dyke turned 95.
Holy hell. That's a lot.
And Christopher Plummer turned 91.
So.
And Taylor Swift turned 31.
That's next year. You're thinking the same thing.
You're 4 months and 1 day older than me.
I know. When I said it, like the way you're like, oh my gosh, she's right.
Because she's exactly like 1 year and 1 day older than you.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. The episodes were amazing.
They were. Janzo was really good in that scene with Ren where like she got infected.
Yes. Oh my god.
Like his emotions.
It killed me.
I mean, yeah.
Like seriously, like we were both freaking the fuck out. Like when she got infected.
Oh my gosh.
When she turned and just stood like that, I was like, she's faking it. She's faking it. And then like,
and then they showed it on her hand.
Well, Janzo focused on her wrist. I'm like, fuck. And then they showed it. I'm like, fuck. No.
Yeah.
I
mean,
yeah.
It was, yeah.
It's just, oh,
I can't.
Mm-mm. I'm glad it did not last for longer than an episode.
I know, me too.
Oh my gosh, it would have killed me to do this review and have to talk about like how she's still infected. She
almost infected him, and then as soon as she was gonna lean in to kiss him, he stabbed her with the antidote. And
I love that he filled the one that she used on her mom.
Yeah.
With freaking like berry juice.
Mm-hmm. And then it came out of her, and she's like, Janzo?
Yeah. She's like, Janzo? And then like immediately went in for that kiss. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then the scene with Gwen and Felista.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, she went there.
She did. Oh man, that made me so happy.
That was awesome.
I love how Felista was just like, I mean, you just don't want to take this role because you can't stand the fact that he married me and blah blah blah. And
yeah, and then like I will be there and like you can't have him and all this stuff.
Yeah, like you can't have him because he's marrying me type stuff, right? And then she's like, well, I'd be perfectly happy because we both know which one he actually wants.
Which one he actually prefers.
Yes, girl! Yes, girl! Yes!
Like, oh! Burn!
Yes! Oh my gosh, made us so happy. I screamed.
Ultimate burn.
Oh.
And then she turns her head and has the red kinge.
The one kinge.
Yeah.
Like, pain kinge, I guess?
Yeah.
Pain.
The one that inflicts unbearable pain.
Right. I'm surprised that didn't go off when Tobin yelled at her.
I know. Me too.
Mhm.
I think because with him, she has that emotional attachment to it.
Yeah, but when she yelled at him in the bar, it went off.
Yeah, that's true. But I think, I don't know, it was probably just because of how he reacted to her, because of how he shouted at her. She was just kind of taken aback by it. So I think that she wasn't
really angry. She was sad.
More
she was hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, I have to take this.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay. So yeah, I I was really irritated by the fact that Yavala became even more powerful, because I'm like, they're gonna just run this out until the end of the season, because there's only 3 more episodes, and she's literally become a god now, because, like, you know, life eternal. She's controlling all these people, taking on all these people as they get infected with the Kinj, therefore giving her life to make it so that she's the only one that can exist and being this all-powerful being. And it's getting to the point where it's becoming harder and harder to kill her. I mean, you would have thought that the fire potion that they came up with to try to kill her would have destroyed her. And I was like, it's not going to work. And it didn't work. Because she came out of it with, like, soot stains all over her face. And it's like, you cannot kill a god. And I'm like, really? So she's just becoming more and more powerful. And it's, you know, I think the finale is just going to be this epic thing where it's going to come down to, you know, Talon and Zed and Janzo and Ren and maybe even Tobin and Garrett and the army, and they will just literally have to defeat Yavala. I mean, I don't know if, like, the army will be part of it, because that was made for the Outpost.
No.
But,
No.
I mean, we'll probably see
I should be, though.
Garrett come and help them. Maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, so I think that it's going to come down to that. And, you know, in the end, she will be destroyed, hopefully. And maybe Talon will even go and find that other Kinj in the Hall of Ashes, or whatever it was called, that woman of the 3, that number 2, kept mentioning to her. Which I think is what Talon is going to end up doing, because that's probably going to turn out to be the only way to truly defeat Yavala. And I think that she's just going to come to realize that that's what she has to do. Because, you know, this paradise that Yavala is promising is death. These people have peace in paradise for a while, but if they don't continue to share the Kinjs with people, then they eventually die, because it makes them sick. And so the paradise is brief. And the whole point of paradise should be, you know, eternal paradise. I would think eternal peace, eternal paradise. And these people aren't getting that, because they're dying. And ultimately, she would be the only person who would be existing, aside from the people that are immune to it, that already have Kinjs, like Talon and Zed, and you know, other Black Bloods that possess a Kinj already. But yeah, so I don't know, but we will see. I mean, I knew that I was irritated that it didn't resolve in this episode, but at the same time, I figured that they'd probably just draw this story out for the rest of the season. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but those are my predictions for what I think will happen. And I really hope that Tobin and Gwen can resolve things, and that Felista is, you know, found out with this Kinj that she has from the 3, and that Gwen and Tobin can finally get married and be happy. And I'm kind of glad that she ended up making Garrett, her chief counsel, instead of Tobin, because, if it had been Tobin, then it would have been that competition. So she eliminated that by having Garrett do it. And it's not about anything personal. It's just in terms of loyalty and helping her with the army and the outposts and decisions and stuff. And, and I love the fact that Tobin stood up to Ballista and was like, I need to do things on my own terms. Like, I can't have you controlling me. I was already controlled. I can't do that. I need to do this my way. And I was proud of him for that. So, yeah. What else? I mean, can I just say, Ren is a great character. I mean, she's only been on it for like, what? 5 episodes now, maybe? I'm not sure. But I've pretty much liked her from the start. And I love her and Jansa's relationship. He deserves to be happy, and he's had so many, like, losses when it comes to women. And, that is, like, perfect for him. So, yeah. And I loved when they did her hair differently and they had the big poof in the front, because I thought that was really cool. And I think almost in a way it kind of represented kind of a change in her character a little bit too, because like when she was working on the cure and she was doing all that stuff, like her hair was, tightly braided and done differently. And then, once they found the cure and once they were going to go to find the Yavala, sorry, her hair was done a little different. I think it represented that, kind of her vulnerability, like it was showing a different side of her in a sense, where, you were seeing her like struggle with, yes, this is my mother, but also this needs to stop because these people are dying. And so I think in a way it was almost like symbolic, and it was interesting the way that they did that subtle change to where it kind of represented her emotions a little bit more, and you seeing that side of her that we haven't really seen. And I think that it was fitting. So I don't know. I mean, that's how I interpreted it. I don't know if that's necessarily what they were doing with that, but I thought that was kind of a cool way to look at it. In terms of previous episode, I knew that Gwen was going to find out about Ballista and Tobin, but I kind of wish that it had happened a little differently. I wanted him to tell her instead of her finding out the way that she did. But, so I hope that once all of this is resolved, they can be happy again. And, yeah. So, what else? I mean, sometimes I don't like the way that they handle some of the things on the show, but then I enjoy it because it's different and it's about realms and medieval and things like that. So it's fun and different. It's different than, not anything that's on TV, because we have other shows that are similar settings, like Game of Thrones and things like that. But this one is just, it's action, it's fantasy, it's magical. It has a lot of elements to it that makes it unique.
Yeah.
And I think it's getting better as it goes. Yeah. So. Let's see. I really wonder how they're gonna find out about Callista having the kinge of the three, because she, that's different than the one that Davila has, and so that one's going to be a little bit harder to get rid of, unless, because Yavala knows that 2 is the one who brought back those people from the dead, she might find out about Callista having the kin. She might try to find a way to make it so that 2 isn't reinfected or gets her kinge back, and then I was talking about how Callista, it's going to be a lot harder to get rid of hers, but because Yavala knows that, about 2 now, and she's going to keep an eye on 2.
Oh, yeah.
She might be able to, make it so that she gets her kinge back, and then, from Callista or something.
She gets the 1 kinge?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who's going to hold it?
I don't know.
She can't hold it because she has the 2 kinge.
Okay. No, what I mean is the lady, the 2. Lady.
Yeah.
She already has a kinge now because she was able to
2
bring them
still
back,
has
right?
a kinge.
Okay, she does.
Yeah.
Right.
She never lost her kinge. You can't take a kinge out of someone unless you kill them or they give it up willingly.
Okay. So, what do you think? They're probably just going to have to kill Callista then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or she gives the power up willingly, which I don't really see her doing.
Yeah.
I mean, once she figures out how it works...
Yeah, because she doesn't know how to control it right now.
No, she doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
But she is immune to being united, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But still. Sorry, that was a birthday call. My grandpa called me.
I was actually talking about, too, how, I don't know if it was, how they intended it, but with Ren's hair. You know how when she was working on the potions and, working on a cure, her hair was, tightly braided and it was, pulled back and all this stuff. And then as soon as her and Janzo think that they have a cure and they're going to go try to find Yavala, her hair's different. And I was it almost represents some, symbolic thing where, it's showing her emotions more, her vulnerability, because her hair's softer. It's made softer. You see the
curls
and the front.
Bouncy it is.
And,
it is still, tightly in the back.
It is, but it's still different.
I think it's, it was showing, her relief.
Yeah. I don't know if that's what they were intending, but I like looking at it as this, symbolic thing of, showing the difference in her character a little bit. And, because when, she's so focused on finding something, it's, pulled back and she's, focused on finding a cure, and then like once they think they have it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go try to deal with this and stop her, but she's still my mother.
Right.
And I'm having this conflict of, you know, I don't want her to die, but she's my mother, and this needs to be stopped, and then like this is the only way to do it, and things like that. So
yeah,
you know, having this like dilemma within herself of how to deal with it.
Yeah, I think that represented how much stress she was under.
Yeah.
And then once they found the cure, she was able to let go of some steam.
Yeah.
That came out in the form
which
of
I think
a
is really
pro.
cool. Which I think is really cool that they used it that way.
Yeah. I like that they let her hair be her hair.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because you don't see that a whole lot, especially with, you know, Black people. And
they're working on it, though, you know.
They
small
are more,
steps, but, you know, I do appreciate being able to see their, like, I say there, but, you know, just a hair being the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like, there doesn't need to be, like, discrimination on hair.
No, there shouldn't be discrimination, period, but there is, so.
Let the fros, let the
curl out, man.
Be free.
You're right.
Free the curls.
Yes. Like, it's so beautiful.
It is.
Like her and Candace, like, amazingly beautiful with, like, yes. I'm enjoying it. So.
But yeah, and I just, like, I was proud of Tobin for standing up for himself.
Yes.
You know, with Callista.
Like, I'm done being controlled, bitch. Back the fuck off.
I'm gonna do things on my own terms.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't be me leaving my mark if you put me up to it.
Yeah.
And he's right. But, I mean, at the same time, a husband and wife, you leaving your mark is her leaving hers as well.
Yeah.
So.
But it's not a mutual.
No, but because she's related to him leaving his mark through the marriage. So if he leaves his mark, she'll be left there too.
Yeah.
Her mark will be, because she was, I mean, you know, especially now, we look back and say, well, behind every great man, there was usually a great woman. Who was the woman that helped them, that pushed them, that led them to that place.
Yeah.
Well, like, Tobin's like, I don't need no woman. And, like, you look at today's...
I'm a strong, independent man. I don't need no woman.
You look at today's world, like, we're strong, independent women. We don't need no man. It's like all the men need us.
Yeah.
Just gotta find the right one.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean... I appreciated that.
Yeah.
You know...
He realized what she was doing, and he said, back the fuck off.
Yeah, because he's like, I've been controlled. I don't need you doing this.
Yeah, I was manipulated by whatever her name is, and then I was controlled by the Kinge, and I don't need you doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good.
I mean, I said a little bit about episode 9, but not a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there were things that happened in episode 9, but more so, like, episode 9 was a setup for episode 10.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, Garrett got the position.
He did, and I was talking about how, like, the reason she did that was so that there wouldn't be that competition between Callista and Tobin and her.
Right.
You know.
And because I think she also knew herself that if Tobin suggested something, she might not always look at it logically from the perspective she needed to. She would always just side with Tobin. And she knows she can't do that. She has to stay objective, and the only way she can do that is with Garrett instead of Tobin. I mean, you can put Tobin in Garrett's old position, you know? Like, he was just, like, leader of the people, you know, like...
Yeah.
So, he can do that. I mean, yes, that position still holds credence to, you know, whatever. Like, he still has say in some things, but, you know, he's not, like, the overall, like, voice on the matter. His opinion counts, but he really has no position in that aspect.
And I think he should have more of a position.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think him starting out with Garrett's position and then them getting used to working together would be the way to go.
Yeah. And I was also talking about, too, how, like, the finale is probably going to be, like, Talon's probably going to realize that the only way to get rid of Yavala for good
is to bring the
Death Kinge from the ashes or whatever.
The plane of ashes.
The plane of ashes. Mm-hmm. Because that's the only way that this is actually going to end.
And who thinks that the carrier is her father? Show of hands, people.
And I mean, do you think that the army is gonna come would be like helping them try to defeat Yavala, or is that just for the Outpost? The army that Tobin and
Well, right now it's just to protect the Outpost.
Okay. Because I think Garrett could end up going back and helping Talon, or no.
No, because
he's just gonna stay with Gwen.
Everyone who doesn't have a Kinge has to stay with Gwen.
Okay.
I mean, because we already saw what happened. Yeah. Like, we lost. Ren showed her everything.
Right.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's no secrets now.
Yeah.
Everything that Ren knew, she now knows.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just can't chance that happening again.
Yeah.
Like, if they fortify, if they build the new walls, unless she learns it by sending people over there, we cannot chance her learning about anything. Mm-hmm. Like, there'll be new fortifications made, new, like, military layout, new everything. And, like, learning that they found a new food source or that they're planning on doing this to their food source, if she found that out, she could poison the land. Mm-hmm. Like, we can't let her know anything more. Yeah. We cannot chance anyone who doesn't have a Kinge leaving the Outpost again.
Right. And I think that, when they get back to the Outpost, they're going to have to regroup and be like, yeah, we can't let anybody that doesn't have a Kinge leave and go, we have to do this fight ourselves.
Yep. Because we're returning without Munt, who's probably one of our strongest people.
It's gonna be Talon and Zed that are gonna have to defeat her.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the only two that are immune.
Yeah. I mean, unless Full still learns how to fight.
Yeah. If it's advantageous to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because it will probably have to be for her benefit in order for her to help them.
Yeah.
So
she'd have to learn how to fight first.
Yeah. And
ladies, don't learn how to fight.
No.
But yeah, it's a stressful situation.
It is.
I do love that Garrett came up with that plan to build new fortifications, to grow the Outpost, and to make room for growing livestock and cultivating livestock and the fields.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take more manpower, not just to build it, but to patrol it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably where the Lakiri will come in.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much of them, mainly probably because of budget. Mm-hmm. But I do think that they can be a proper patrol for the new land. Mm-hmm. Especially because as far as we know, I mean, no one's ever tried to control a Lakiri with the Kinge. So as far as we're aware, Lakiri are immune. Mm-hmm. So if we gather together all the Lakiri, because there's more than just the three, right? They can take turns patrolling the new land that we want, and that'll help protect the land from anyone who wants to damage it or
what are you doing?
Anything like that. Like, they could be told to let people through, but I think you'd probably see, like, the dust particles in the air because of the sun.
What are you doing?
Like, to let people through, but if they're trying to do anything to the land, to stop them. Mm-hmm. So I think that could work.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm just going to close the door.
But yeah, I think that's probably what we're looking at.
Yeah.
At least with my way of thinking, if I was in control, that's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Can't believe Yuvala's head went back on her shoulders.
I know, right? She's like, you cannot kill a god. I'm like, bitch!
Right? I know you already talked about it. I heard you say you cannot kill a god. But, I just needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even. So.
Like, she comes out of the ashes with soot on her face, and she's all smiling. And then she's like, you can't kill a god.
Smiling with, like, the gap between.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, she's, like, that throws me off sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, she's supposed to be, like, I don't know. I see her as she's supposed to kind of be, like, this symbol of, almost the symbol of perfection a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Sorry.
Because she's a god and, you know, whatever. And then, like, she smiles and I'm like, you are not a god if you were you. you know, I mean, like, I have nothing against people with gout teeth. I think people with gout teeth, you know, they're fine. They're perfectly normal and everything like that. And, I mean, hey, August.
No.
I think, you know, that, like, she is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, hey, I don't know, like.
Stop it. Get down. Come on.
I don't know, like, if you're a god, I think you might, like, unless, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Now I'm just talking. August, be a good boy.
Be nice.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I think so.
I think we've covered everything.
Pretty much.
We've covered everything. So I suppose until next time, keep fighting for what you believe in.